Now it is time for our first keynote. State Senator Janet Buckner, please join us.
Good morning.
Good morning, and let me introduce you. State Senator Janet P. Buckner has been serving the people of Southern Aurora since 2015. She's actually been serving her community for many, many years, but she's actually been in office since 2015. She started her legislative journey as a representative for House District 40, where she served until 2018, and she was Speaker Pro Tem of the House and served as Vice Chair of the House Education Committee and was a member of the House Health Insurance and Environment Committee. In 2020, she was elected to the State Senate, representing Aurora and Senate District 28, now Senate District 29. She currently serves as Majority Caucus Chair and is Chair of the Education Committee. She's also a member of the Senate Finance Committee. Senator Buckner has championed bills that seek to address health and education inequities that persist throughout Colorado and has proven to be a leader within the state legislature. Senator Buckner earned her Bachelor of Arts degree from Ball State University, and she had a long career as a professional speech and language therapist. She retired in 2007. I don't think she had being a legislator in her future plans, but here she is, and I am pleased to welcome my state senator, Janet Buckner.
Oh, thank you, Honorable Sue Ryden, for that really nice introduction. It is really a pleasure and honor to be here today. And I thought of something when Sue was talking earlier about she was minding her own business and then decided she was going to be a legislator or run for office. I was minding my own business too, happily retired when my husband passed away. And I was chosen by a vacancy committee to fill his position. And I didn't realize that I was ready, even though I didn't know I was ready, because when he went to the state capitol his first year, I would listen in on his committees. I would critique him. Every night when he would come home, we would talk about what happened at the Capitol. So lo and behold, when he passed away and I was appointed, I was more ready than I realized, and it really gave me purpose. I really admire AAUW. Your national and local objectives are so admirable, and I love it when you come to the Capitol and make your voices be heard and let people know that you are behind your legislators and that you're watching us and that you have ideas and interest in what's happening. I have to mention this too. Last week, I was the co-prime sponsor with Senator Rhonda Fields for a sickle cell bill, which is going to improve access for those people with sickle cell anemia. Right now, their needs are not being met. And AAUW sent a beautiful, comprehensive letter about why they were supporting that bill. I had the letter read in committee and highlighted some of the key points. And two of the key points were health, access, and equity, because the people who have sickle cell anemia are not getting equitable service and health care for their needs. And it's not just for them, but it's for their families, their caregivers, et cetera. So your letter really did make a difference. Each person on the committee got it. And when this bill goes to the floor for seconds, I'm going to put a copy of that letter on each desk in the Senate chamber. And we're hoping for a unanimous vote. So thank you, AAUW. But I'm here today to talk about universal pre-K and early childhood. We all know that the earlier we can invest in our kids' education, the better, because education is the best investment we can make for all of our children. And in 2021, we passed legislation for universal pre-K. And years ago, I was a part of a group called Early Childhood School Readiness Commission. And I think Senator Nancy Todd was also a part of this commission. And for years, we assessed the needs and education needs for families and especially our children. So we talked about what can we do for our kids for years. And lo and behold, 2021, we passed legislation for universal pre-K. This legislation was brought to the legislature in 2021, and then we actually launched universal pre-K in 2023. And as you can see on this slide, we wanted to ensure that as many students as possible, and I just want to ensure that we want every student to have early access, and high quality preschool is crucial. And we know that it has lifelong benefits. I can't believe how many people don't realize in the general public that the way you start is going to give you that lifelong benefit and that head start in everything you do. So the program ensures that every child in the year before they are eligible for kindergarten can receive up to 15 hours of state-funded voluntary preschool. And 3-year-olds who are low income or who have qualifying factors are eligible for part-time preschool programming. And I think that's really important too. Some kids may be eligible for 30 hours of preschool if they are low income and they might have disabilities, homelessness, dual language, or foster kinship. But one of the other things I want to mention on this slide is the fact that we are targeting every child. Unfortunately, so many of the parents I talked to during the stakeholder process just didn't feel that they were worthy. They didn't know how to go about getting preschool for their kids. You know, language barriers. So many of the mothers I talked to said, I'm just embarrassed to go to talk to someone about what my kids' needs are. Well, this universal preschool program is taking away many of those barriers because it's a one-stop shop. In the past, parents had to go from location to location to location to get services. Well, as you can well expect, they left so many services on the table that they were eligible for. So, with everything under one roof, one stop shopping, those parents now have the opportunity to get those benefits that they do deserve. And now we can go on to the next slide. One of the key points and one of my favorite parts of um, universal pre-K is the fact that it's a mixed delivery system. And a lot of people talk about what is a mixed delivery system. Well, it brings a variety of providers together, program settings, public and private, to serve families. In universal pre-K, any program is eligible to participate if it is licensed and meets certain standards. And that includes what you see on the screen right here. And as we were going through the stakeholding process for this bill, I thought about how many family child care homes there are. My 3 kids went to my neighbor's house. She had a preschool in her home. Her name was Miss Ruby James. And a lot of you on this call probably know her because she took care of a lot of your children. If she had been fortunate enough to have been able to be in this type of program, it would have just enhanced her ability to make her family child care even better and stronger. And that's what we're wanting to do. There are a lot of faith-based early learning programs out there, and partnering with the Colorado Department of Education for universal pre-K, they are able to get what they need as far as supplies, instructional materials, etc., to make sure that their programs are as good as they can be. And then, of course, elementary schools, including charter schools, are eligible for universal pre-K applications. And like I said, mixed delivery is voluntary for both providers and families, and it's easy to sign up. And families can rank their preference of participating programs. They can reference and preference up to 5 programs. So the system generates matches based on families' rankings and their program availability. So parents like this because it gives them options. It gives them lots of options. Next slide, please. This talks about the mixed delivery program, and this is in action. As of January 24th, just last month, 1,820 providers are participating in universal pre-K, and we are thrilled about that. 48% of these providers are community-based programs, 40% are school-based, 12% are family care providers. We know that those numbers are going to increase exponentially because more and more people are applying for universal pre-K. And I will repeat again that when we launched, we allotted $15.3 million for this program with 1,143 providers, and now we're up to 820, and we know that that is going to jump substantially. We're saving parents a lot of money, and as a state, we're saving for the whole state $164 million because of universal pre-K and helping, like I said, 27,500 families. So did we have glitches in the beginning? Oh boy, did we. But I'll talk about that in a little bit. I'll tell you the unfortunate things that we went through when we delivered this program. Next slide, please. Something I forgot to tell you about mixed delivery. Most families said that the program's hours of operations and location were the top 2 factors in choosing their programs. Next most common was whether the provider had spots available. And all that's common sense, but I just wanted you to know that parents felt that the fact that they had a variety of options was really important. This slide talks about the local implementation model. Local entities are best obviously positioned to know that there are varying needs for early childhood programs and services, and we have so many diverse communities throughout the state. So this is just what I believe is common sense, but I'm glad that we listened to all of our local coordinating organizations because they gave us invaluable feedback. And this way, we were able to support the implementation of this program on a local level. Also, we want to serve as a liaison between families and the local early childhood system and the state. And we want to give targeted special support to providers depending on what their needs are. We also want to elevate local needs to the state level because as state legislators, I want to make sure that I am knowing what those needs are and how I can improve those needs. And another thing I want to mention, and all of the former legislators on this call know this, but most of the time when we run legislation and sometimes we don't follow it, but every legislator I know on this call followed their legislation to see how it was enacted, because there could be something else in the legislation that we ran and the legislation that passed that had more needs. In that case, we can amend, we can send an amendment, we can run new legislation that improves the legislation that we formerly ran. And that's what I've done with this universal pre-K bill. I was one of the original sponsors of this bill. Then we had to write more legislation to make it better. And I know in the future we will have to continue to pass legislation that does improve universal pre-K. Next slide, please. Here's the enrollment because I thought you would really like to know what the enrollment is like as of January 20th, January 20th, January 2024. For those students enrolled with Universal Pre-K 10 hours, there are 9,115 students. 15 hours, there's 26,558 students. 30 hours, 3,492. Total awards, almost 40,000. And the percentage of Colorado 4-year-old population enrolled is in Universal Pre-K is 62%. So we still have room. We are growing. And I'm proud of the fact that we are growing. And we had many hiccups, and we're helping some of those hiccups right now because everything is under one roof with amazing directors and executors of universal preschool. So we know that things are just only going to get better. And I don't know if there's one more slide or not. Yes, looking ahead. Of course, quality is crucial. And we want to make sure that we are as inclusive with our support advisors and providers in offering high quality programming and supporting positive child outcomes. We want to make sure that all the instructional needs are met. We want to make sure that every tool is given to all of these providers so they can teach these kids to the best of their ability. Also, we know that a lot of these providers didn't have the supplies and materials they needed. So we're making sure that they are getting those needs and that they're able to utilize these needs across the mixed delivery system. We've also enhanced the application system because we have such a diverse population in Colorado, and we have streamlined enrollment and access. And here's a really important point because I'm always trying to help the underserved. We're looking to improve the full day hours for families in poverty. That's for families who make 100% or less of the federal poverty guidelines. We want them to qualify for 30 hours a week. So many of these parents that I've met with have told me, I need somewhere for my child to go so I can go to work, so we can keep a roof over my head, etc. So that's one of the things that we're looking to improve, and that's what's going to come in the future as well. That was a really quick overview because I could spend a whole day talking about universal pre-K. It is such an amazing program. Now, in the beginning, did we make a lot of mistakes? Even though I was the bill sponsor, I wasn't responsible for the implementation, but I felt like I was because I kept hearing from parents. I had employees at the state capitol who were having trouble with the system. It was kind of a mess at the beginning. And I truly believe that what we should have done in hindsight, we should have passed the legislation. And I think we should have allowed a whole year to get this program into effect because we would have avoided a lot of the glitches. However, on the other side, when I talk to those parents who are absolutely thrilled that they have universal pre-K and it's saving them over $6,000 a year, then I feel good about the fact that we did put this into action and those families were able to get their kids into preschool right away. But it was kind of messy and there were so many glitches, but we're doing better now and I'm getting rave reviews. Arapahoe County has many seats that are still available, so I am sure that those will be filled in the upcoming months. And if you go online to Colorado Department of Early Childhood, it is one of the most user-friendly websites. You can get all the information that you need on that website. And most of the parents I've talked to said that it is easy to navigate. That's basically the end of my presentation. And at 10:15, I have to jump on my town hall for the Aurora delegation, but I just want to make sure that I can answer any questions that might be out there. And I see one from Gina. She said, I'm concerned that quality established early childhood programs whose charge is greater than government payment have to pay the difference to make free to families. The Montessori school I founded 33 years ago lost 20% of enrollment in August and couldn't offer more than 12 to 40 spots for 4-year-olds. Please change the guidelines to say payment from government toward tuition to keep good established schools and support systems alive and to stay in the same school. And Gina, you're preaching to the choir here, because I think that was unfortunate what happened to not just some of the Montessori schools I know about. It happened to a lot of other providers, and I was devastated for some of them. I'm hoping now that we have things in better order. I also have quick access to Dr. Lisa Roy. She's the head of the Department of Early Childhood. I go to her probably once a week with complaints and concerns. So I will definitely lift this up to her. I'm going to take a picture of your concern, if that's okay. And I would like to share that with her because she wants to know what's happening, because we want to make sure that this program works well for as many people as possible. And I do have some El Paso County numbers, I think. And if I can't access them right now, I can get those to you, Sue, so you can share them with Pam.
Will
Because I
do, will do.
don't know if I can
And
pull
I
those
know
up
that,
right now. Aha, I do have the El Paso numbers. How's that? Total seats in El Paso County, 4,487. Children matched 3,225. So that makes them have 1,262 available seats. And according to this slide that I have, the number of 4-year-olds in that county was 8,895. So the needs are still really great there. And yeah, that's the latest numbers I have. And those numbers are also on the Colorado Department of Early Childhood website, so you can see them.
so thank you, Senator Buckner. We are running a little bit late, and we do have Representative Hamrick coming, who also is needing to go to your town hall. So I would suggest that anyone who has questions, you can send those directly to Senator Buckner and find her on the website that we just showed you a few minutes ago.
And
So
I'm putting my personal email in here as well. It's sendjanetbuckner@gmail.com. I'm putting that. I mean, no matter where you send the email, I will get it. But some of the ones that go through the Colorado Ledge, they might be a day late. But I put my email in there for you. And Rep Hamrick put hers in there as well, because she's a champion for universal pre-K as well.
great. Well, thank you for such a comprehensive overview of what's going on there. And, you know, certainly there were some glitches in the beginning, but I agree with you. So many people were helped that it definitely makes it worthwhile. So thanks again for sharing your time and yourself with us today, and enjoy your town hall coming up.
Right. Bye, everybody. And I'm just honored that you asked. Oh, hi, Nancy.
Hi, Janet. Thank you.
I am just honored that you all asked me to be here today. And as your AAUW moves through the year, thank you for those bills that you're targeting, because they're all really important.
Thank you.